Have you ever wondered how an empire that wasn't exactly holy, Roman, or even truly an empire managed to dominate Europe for over 1,000 years? How could a patchwork of kingdoms bound loosely by political and religious ties hold together through centuries of war, religious strife, and shifting alliances? Today, we're diving deep into the rise and fall of the Holy Roman Empire, an entity as enigmatic as its name, yet crucial in shaping the course of European history. Join us as we explore how this medieval empire not only survived but influenced the future of modern Europe. Chapter 1: Charlemagne and the Birth of an Empire. Our story begins in 800 AD with a moment that would change the course of European history forever. On Christmas Day, in the Grand Basilica of St. Peter's in Rome, Pope Leo III placed a crown upon the head of Charlemagne, king of the Franks, declaring him Emperor of the Romans. This wasn't just a political move, it was a symbolic resurrection of the ancient Roman Empire. Charlemagne was tasked with restoring order to the fractured and chaotic remnants of Western Europe. But why was this moment so significant? Europe was in disarray. The collapse of the Western Roman Empire had left a power vacuum filled by warring tribes and feudal lords. Charlemagne's reign was seen as a beacon of hope for stability. His empire stretched from modern-day France and Germany to northern Italy, encompassing a diverse array of people and cultures. He promoted learning, justice, and Christianity, bringing a semblance of Roman order back to Europe. Yet, despite his grand achievements, Charlemagne's empire was fragile. Upon his death in 814, it was divided among his grandsons, weakening the centralized power he had built. The Treaty of Verdun in 843 carved the empire into three parts, paving the way for regional rulers to assert their independence. Though the political unity Charlemagne envisioned faded, the idea of a Holy Roman Empire endured. It would return in a new form, but with a very different structure. Chapter 2: Otto I and the Revival of the Empire. Fast forward to the 8th century, Europe had changed, and so had the concept of empire. In 962 AD, Otto I, a Germanic king, was crowned emperor by Pope John XII, officially reviving the Holy Roman Empire, but this was no Roman Empire. Unlike the centralized power of ancient Rome, Otto's empire was a loose confederation of states, bound together by a shared allegiance to the emperor. This new iteration of the Holy Roman Empire was primarily Germanic, though it retained its association with Rome and the Catholic Church. Otto's crowning reaffirmed the bond between church and state, but this alliance was often a double-edged sword. While the emperor held authority over the secular realm, the pope held immense religious power. This balance of power would define much of the empire's history, as emperors and popes clashed over who held ultimate authority in Europe. Otto I's reign marked a period of relative stability for the empire. He consolidated his power, extending his influence over Italy and the papacy. His successors would build on this foundation, but the empire's decentralized nature made it difficult to maintain control. Each region, whether a duchy, a city-state, or a principality, retained a significant degree of autonomy. This lack of centralization, while providing flexibility, also sowed the seeds of future conflict. Chapter 3: Power Struggles and the Road to the Protestant Reformation. By the High Middle Ages, the Holy Roman Empire had grown in both size and complexity. However, with this growth came internal tensions. The decentralized nature of the empire led to frequent power struggles between the emperor and local rulers, as well as between the emperor and the pope. One of the most famous conflicts was the Investiture Controversy in the 11th century, which pitted Emperor Henry IV against Pope Gregory VII. The pope sought to assert his authority over the appointment of bishops, while the emperor viewed this as an infringement encroachment on his power. The result? A bitter struggle that led to Henry IV's famous walk to Canossa in 1077, where he sought the Pope's forgiveness to avoid excommunication. This ongoing tug-of-war between religious and secular power weakened the empire's internal cohesion. By the 16th century, the Protestant Reformation erupted, further destabilizing the Holy Roman Empire. The Reformation, ignited by Martin Luther's 95 Theses in 1517, challenged the Catholic Church's authority and sparked a religious revolution across Europe. The decentralized nature of the empire allowed Protestantism to take root in various regions, particularly in northern Germany. Princes who supported Luther saw an opportunity to assert their independence from both the emperor and the Pope. This religious schism fractured the empire, leading to decades of conflict, including the devastating 30 Years' War from 1618 to 1648. What began as a religious war eventually evolved into a broader political struggle, with foreign powers like France and Sweden intervening in the empire's affairs. Chapter 4. The Devastation of the 30 Years' War. The 30 Years' War was one of the most destructive conflicts in European history, ravaging the Holy Roman Empire and reducing much of its population and infrastructure to ruins. The war was triggered by tensions between Catholic and Protestant state within the empire, but quickly escalated into a larger geopolitical conflict. For 30 brutal years, armies marched across Europe and cities were sacked. The empire was left in tatters. Its once vibrant territories reduced to ash and rubble. The war ended with the Peace of Westphalia in 1648, a treaty that fundamentally reshaped the political landscape of Europe. The treaty granted significant autonomy to the individual states within the empire, effectively decentralizing it even further. While the Holy Roman Empire continued to exist in name, it was now little more than a loose confederation of semi-independent entities. The emperor's power had been dramatically reduced, and the empire's days of being a dominant force in European politics were numbered. Chapter 5. The Empire's Last Days and Napoleon's Final Blow. By the 18th century, the Holy Roman Empire was in decline. The political fragmentation that had helped it survive for so long now became its undoing. The empire was a collection of over 300 individual states, each with its own laws, currencies, and armies. Attempts to centralize power were met with resistance from the local rulers, and the empire's ability to function as a unified entity diminished. The final blow came in the early 19th century with the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. As Napoleon expanded his influence across Europe, he saw the Holy Roman Empire as an outdated relic of the past. In 1806, following his victory over Austria, Emperor Francis II abdicated the throne, officially dissolving the Holy Roman Empire after more than a millennium of existence. But even in its dissolution, the Holy Roman Empire left an indelible mark on European history. Its legacy can be seen in the political and cultural landscape of Europe today, particularly in the modern nation-states of Germany, Austria, and Italy, whose borders and identities were shaped by the centuries-long evolution of the empire. The Holy Roman Empire may not have been a straightforward empire, but its long and complicated history profoundly shaped the course of Europe. It was an entity defined by adaptability, capable of holding together an enormous diversity of people and cultures for over 1,000 years. From the crowning of Charlemagne to its collapse under Napoleon, the Holy Roman Empire influenced everything from politics and religion to the borders of modern Europe. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the rise and fall of one of the most intriguing empires in history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the complexities of the Holy Roman Empire, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Here at History Mysteries, we're committed to uncovering the most fascinating and mysterious stories from the past. Stay tuned for more episodes where we explore the events, figures, and empires that shaped our world.